Well, hello. Spunky here. It's been even longer since the last time it has been so long. I keep trying to tell myself that, you know, I want to do things. And I want to do things, but it is so difficult sometimes, especially when I get up in my head. And I want to start out with apologizing to all my subscribers, especially the ones that have stuck around over the past, God, has it been 8 months? And, just sat there and stared at my inactivity. I promised you in my YouTube bio that I would keep it real. And part of it was, a lot of it was, especially the stuff with Phone Jones and everything like that. But to be honest, that wasn't really me. It was a shell of me. But I was dead inside. I really was. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to do what everybody else was doing because that seemed to be what was acceptable. And I'd become so used to doing what was acceptable and what was expected instead of doing what I wanted to do. Being who I was to the point where I lost who I was. I didn't know who I was. Am I spunky? Am I, the person that my father wants me to be, the person that my mother wants me to be, the person that, my sisters want me to be. And instead, I was trying to be what everybody else wanted me to be or what I thought everybody else wanted me to be instead of being me. And I almost feel in a way that I lied to everybody. With Phone Jones, oh God, I have so much fun with that girl and I miss her terribly. I absolutely hate being on the other side of the damn city from her. And it's just, but a lot of it where I was by myself and I wasn't being real. I was being upbeat. I was being funny. I guess I was being funny. But at the same time, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to be awake. I didn't want to clean my house. I didn't want to deal with the children. I didn't want to do any of it. And it took me a long time to finally accept the fact that I needed help. When you spend so much time faking it until you make it, that's all you ever know how to do is to fake it. When you're just wanting to curl up and cry, yet you're going out into society with a smile on your face and you're having fun and everything like that, it's not real. Or at least it wasn't. But Phone Jones made it real. Phone Jones helped me to forget everything that was plaguing my conscious thoughts, my subconscious thoughts. And with her, I could relax. I didn't have any worries. I wasn't trying to conform to anybody. I wasn't trying to squeeze myself into this box of acceptance. And that felt really good. But then I lost that. I lost that bubble of serenity, that bubble of calm. And then all the stress and all the worry and all the anxiety would come crashing back down on me. To where I was removing myself from the world, from reality. I was diving into Instagram. I was diving into this, into my dogs. I was burying myself so deep behind my dog's Instagram that I lost myself. I became Cleo and Jules. And Spunky disappeared. she disappeared. And that was a good thing at the time. That really was. That I didn't have to be myself, for the simple fact that I didn't know who I was. I knew who my sisters wanted me to be. They wanted me to be someone cooperative and that would do anything for them at the drop of a hat. And that's what family does, but when there's no reciprocation, when there's no gratitude on the other end, what is one supposed to do with that? When you give and give and give and give and give and give and give, and all they do is take, and they never give back. And then they want you to dress a certain way. They want you to talk a certain way. They want you to act a certain way. They want your hair done a certain way. You know, I mean, I like to wear rings on every finger. I like to, you know, I'm missing a few. You know, I like to wear, you know, I'm more t-shirts and jeans. I love my t-shirts, and I know I touched on that. I love my t-shirts. I love short hair. I love unique hair. In fact, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see this mop get darker and blonder, because, you know, my spunky streaks have, that's all that's left of the spunky streaks. That's it. But they're going to come back. They're just wait. You know, and I love just being me. But they didn't want me. They didn't want Spunky as Spunky. They wanted, yeah, it's hard to describe what they wanted. You know, because they're not even what they wanted. You know, but then, you know, my parents, you know, they want, you know, it's hard to put into words. You know, half of my gene pool, I fit in with perfectly. You know, there's absolutely no problems with any of them. In fact, I love all of them. But the other half of my gene pool, oh, really? Like, you didn't know there was coffee sitting next to me? Please. But the other half of my gene pool, they are, how do I put this as nicely as possible? They are the most hypocritical, narcissistic bunch of hooligans anybody can think of. I mean, here you got 30-year-old, 31-year-old now, you know, and a 28-year-old. Both of them getting married. One's a stepmother, you know, and they still expect the world to be handed to them on a platter. No, please, thank you, you know, anything like that. That sense of entitlement just gets me. And it was wearing me down. You know, and I know this video is going back and forth. It's rambling, it's this, it's that, but this is the inside of my head. You know, it really is. It's all so jumbled up together that I don't know how to organize it all. You know, I go, and this is where my disappearance comes into play. You know, because I was doing the videos with Phone Jones, and I was doing the hauls and, you know, everything like that, and that was all well and good, but when the money ran out, when the trouble really started to hit, you know, when my husband wasn't working as much and we were struggling to pay the bills, and, you know, there was no hauls. There was no going out with Phone Jones and going to the Dollar Tree and the Target hot spots and Bath and Body Works and all of that. There was none of that. So I felt I didn't have anything to share with y'all. You know, what am I supposed to do? Sit here and stare at the camera like, oh, well, okay. I didn't do any shopping today. I didn't go out and have, you know, a fun, good time with Phone Jones today. I sat at home. I cleaned my kitchen, I kicked the cat off the couch, I walked the dogs, I'm not sure how fun that is, but and I didn't want to disappoint y'all by not being spunky. But at the same time, I didn't want to disappoint myself. Because when diving into what's not real, the expectations are so high. I thought for sure, that if I wasn't coming in with a Dollar Tree haul or something weird, like The Rambler or, Spooky Ghoulster, that y'all were gonna leave. You're gonna hit that unsubscribe button and poof, off you went. Or if I'm sitting here, I'm putting this effort into, these characters, I'm putting this effort into, these videos, and, I'm stuck at 59 subscribers. Wow. And I almost felt like I was doing something wrong. Why don't you like me? Why don't you want to watch my videos? Why don't you want to connect with me? Why don't you want to interact with me? What's wrong with me? It had nothing to do with the fact that maybe, nobody's seeing my videos. Maybe it's just not getting out there. Or it's not those people's cup of tea. But still when it hits you consciously that, wow, nobody likes me. That even if it's made up in your head, it's still there. The thoughts are there. The feelings are there. That sense of abandonment, that sense of that anxiety of what's wrong with me? Why don't you want to watch my videos? Why don't you want to interact with me? Well, it's kind of hard to interact with somebody who's not there. If you're not making videos, if you're not engaging the crowd, then what are you doing? You're sitting there making a video of what you bought at the Dollar Tree. No offense to anybody. Please, nobody take offense. But you're not talking about anything else. You're not talking about yourself. You're not connecting on a personal level. But it's hard to connect on a personal level when you don't know yourself personally. Back in December, about the time Spunky disappeared, I went to the doctor. And I had this rash thing, turned out to be some spot eczema or something like that. I don't know. And I was sitting there, and the doctor had said something, and immediately I was like, he doesn't believe me. He doesn't know what's going on. And he looked at me. He's like, I want you to fill out some paperwork. I'm like, okay. I thought I filled out all the paperwork, but all right, I'll fill out your paperwork. And so so I was looking at it, and it was an anxiety questionnaire. Oh, Lord. And it was a depression questionnaire. Okay. And I sat there for a few moments, and I debated. Do I answer these questions truthfully, honestly? Or do I stomp these feelings down into a mud hole and continue hiding? I made the decision right then and there to stop hiding. And I answered those questions honestly. I felt worthless. I felt invisible. I felt like the world was coming to an end. Paranoid, anxious, freaking scared of everything. I couldn't go into the grocery store without thinking that there was some maniac with an automatic weapon hiding in the frozen food department. My heart would race, and my body temperature would increase, and it was doomsday. Absolute and utter doomsday. Meeting new people, God. Meeting new people. Oh, Lord, meeting new people. I cannot tell you the level of fear I have when I meet new people. I mean, it took me a year of standing on the same street corner with Phone Jones before I could say hi. It took me a year to convince myself that she was not some lunatic killer out to steal my flesh. Yes, that thought actually crossed my mind. And then skipping ahead as far as meeting new people goes, moving across town away from that security, that familiarity into a new environment, and then within a few days coming across one of my subscribers, Miss Biscuit Off Me. I'm sorry if I pronounced that weird, Biscuit Off Me. And she's like, oh, I'm so glad you're okay. And I'm like, yeah. And she's worried about me. She's, asking about me and everything like that. And I'm sitting here, I am scared to death. Scared to death. Basic vocabulary was coming out of my mouth. Hi, thanks, gotta go. And I locked myself in my house and I made that video, hey, yay, that's so awesome, let's be friends, and avoided her at all costs. I would stand on the opposite side of the road, head down in my phone, hair over my face. If you can't see me, or if I can't see you, you can't see me. Because the thought of meeting somebody new is terrifying. The thought of putting myself out there to the point of actually making conversation and making new friends, God, put me in an asylum with a Thorazine drip, because I'm gonna go out of my damn mind. I'm sorry, it's not anybody. It's not anybody. It is all me. It is borderline agoraphobia. What keeps me from locking myself in my house forever is the fact that I don't want that to become normal. That is not normal, and it shouldn't be. So I force myself out there, but I'm sorry, Biscuit of Me. I really am. I know I said I wanted to be friends, and I do. God, do I ever want to make new friends. But I am terrified. Absolutely, honest to God, bone-shivering terrified of putting myself out there like that. One-on-one with my camera, I'm talking to myself. I can do that. It's like a journal. I'm not face-to-face with anybody. I'm not seeing facial expressions and wondering if I'm being judged. What are they thinking? Are they thinking I'm making it all up like my sisters do? Am I batshit crazy like some people in my family think? Am I taking things too personally? Am I being too serious? Am I being too sensitive? And yeah, I take a lot of things very personally because I shut myself down. I stopped listening to my intuition. I stopped listening. I stopped embracing the empathic side of my soul, where I could feel, the energy is around me. And jumping back to December, I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and manic depression of the severe sort. Was I suicidal? No. I was not suicidal. Never in my life would I think of taking myself away from my children and my husband. They need me. But I felt worthless and useless. I felt that I was a bad mom for the simple fact that I've got one child who feels entitled and that everything should be done for him, and he shouldn't have to do it, because he wants to live in the now. He wants to enjoy his childhood. Well, dude, you're 15 and you're still in 8th grade. In fact, he's in summer school right now, trying to make it to his freshman year of high school. And then I've got another child who overcompensates for her brother. She is AB honor roll and has been since kindergarten. Just the simple thought of being sick makes her, a little anxious. I'm gonna miss class. I'm gonna miss my lessons. I'm gonna miss my homework. My grade's gonna drop. She is absolutely terrified of being a kid because she doesn't want to get in trouble, like her brother does. And I'm not going to go into serious detail, but that made me feel like a horrible mom. I mean, how did I end up with both ends of the spectrum? I've got one kid that lies, cheats, steals, and expects the world handed to him. And then I've got another, who is a 30-year-old in a 9-year-old's body. Who does, and I felt horrible. It's like, how did I do this? I haven't changed my parenting styles any. I'm parenting the same as I've parented for the last 15 years, but how are these children so different? I don't get it. Pardon me. Excuse me. How are these children so different? And then I felt like a horrible wife. For, not being able to work. I mean, I could work, but we don't have a secondary car, and it would cost, I would go to work just to pay daycare, and honestly, it's too people-y out there. My anxiety, I can't work out there, because my anxiety, I could barely meet a new person on the street corner near my mailboxes at the bus stop, let alone an entire work environment of new people. Yeah. No. So I'm thinking, so I've been coming up with ways of things I can do around here, like, adventures with Skelly. I am writing little short stories of adventures with this little guy. His link will be in the below. And also making jewelry. I don't have any of what I made available right now, but I will definitely let you know. As well, just finding little things to do that can help bring in a little bit of money. But at the same time, we're doing really good. But my husband would go to work all day long, and then he would come home to me and my teenager fighting. Just him disrespecting me wanting to throat punch him. I mean, now come on, who doesn't want to throat punch their teenager every now and then? We're keeping it real here, we're keeping it real. But, it's, my whole world came crashing down around me. I needed medication. I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and manic depression. I was medicated, and my family thought I was bullshit. There you have it. My family thought I was bullshit. Not my husband, not my children, but the toxic members, the ones that wanted me to be who they wanted me to be, but wouldn't accept me for who I was, who I am. I'm an empathic Wiccan who loves boho chic and hippie tie-dye. I am the epitome of eclectic versatility. I don't know how else to describe it. I am eclectic. And you know what? I like that. I like being eclectic. I really do. I like being eclectic. That is me. Spunky, the eclectic, unique person. I don't know. But I needed to find me. And I couldn't find me in YouTube. I couldn't find me in Instagram. I couldn't find me in Facebook. I had to sit back and actually turn inward to find me. Who is me? Who am I? I found me. And I'm getting to know me. It's difficult, as I tend to want to revert back to what I was, because that's what it's been for so long. You know, and do I hope that I get 1 million subscribers on YouTube? No, I don't. But if I can connect with the 59 of you that are left, you know, maybe help a few more that are still hiding from their anxiety and their depression, you know, and actually keep it real with you. Will there be hauls? Of course. Will there be Instagram shenanigans? Oh yeah. But I separated myself from my dogs. You know, so now you can actually get to know the real me. Now on Instagram, I'm Tuesday Jean, because that's me, Tuesday Jean. But here on YouTube, I'm Spunky. You know, but here's a chance to get to know me, the real me. The me that Phone Jones saw. The me that Phone Jones was pulling to the surface. Slowly but surely. Helping me realize who I was. Who I am. I need to stop saying was, it's who I am. I am Tuesday Jean. I am an eclectic personality, a chameleon. I shift because I like so much. I love the air I breathe. I love the land I live on. I love the trees. I love the flowers. I love it all. You know, I love hippie tie-dye. I love silver and turquoise. I love crystals. I love gemstones. I love tarot cards. I love giving tarot readings. I used to be so good. And then and then my cards were destroyed. And I think that's where it all began. I lost myself because I gave up being myself for what I thought society wanted of me. So here I am, folks. Here I am. This is me. And you're going to see more of me. As, you know, this video was fun. And going on 27 minutes, and that's tend to be too long, but the new Spunky channel is going to be talking about that anxiety. It's going to be talking about that depression. It's going to be talking about that bone-crippling, blood-curdling fear of socializing outside of the internet. And it's going to be healing. Finding who Spunky is. And who she can be. While getting rid of all the negative. So, welcome to my world. And I do hope that I can touch a few, heal some others, but have a good time at the same time. So here it is. For the first time, I can actually be honest. Spunky signing out. Keep it real. Love ya.